What's up, everybody? It's your boy Wes Graham. You're watching Urban Nerd. This channel I give my nerd reviews on today's nerd news, but also give my reviews on movies that I watch. And today's movie I'm going to be giving a review on is going to be Ant-Man and the Wasp. And I gotta tell you guys, I'm just giving it real quick. I had fun. And yeah, this thing was like, I don't know what happened, but this movie definitely did do a good job as far as what they got or what they did in their first movie. And if you guys didn't know, like, no, see, okay, I know I saw something. I know. Okay, I know this. What is that? Wasp? Yes, that is a wasp. And damn, Wasp looking good. But I know. But actually, this is like a little prop I had to get because you know what? The movie, the Wasp was the star. Like Ant-Man was great, but the Wasp, she took over. And the Wasp was being played by Evangeline Lilly, and she was good in the first one, but she really had her time to shine in the second one. So I'm just gonna give a quick rundown as far as the people that I think really stood out in this movie. Of course, you've got Evangeline Lilly because she was like a ninja in this Wasp suit, and yeah, she trained Ant-Man or Paul Rudd's, Steve or Clinton Lang. She trained him, yes. But now you see, yeah, she would have been better as, the person that trained because she kicked ass. And you know I love me some strong, powerful women. And she definitely showed that she was a strong, powerful woman. And she's so beautiful. She's so pretty. Just watching, I just was like, yo, she is so pretty. Damn. But yeah, Paul Rudd definitely, he still had that charm. He was still funny. I still like seeing him. He's still a great character, and he's like a loving father. And yo, I'll tell you one thing. I was wondering, this is gonna be like a spoiler review. How granted, they did say it was house arrest, so he did have a lot of time to himself. But man, he made this huge maze inside his attic where he played with his daughter, and he made this slide that went from like the attic all the way down the steps, all the way through the what's it called, the door right outside, and just it made no sense. But then his foot went through the fence, which set off basically the alarm because he stepped out of parameters. But then all of a sudden, when they come and they check on him, he can't step outside of his door. So why did he even make it so you could go outside? Like if it's because he got out of the perimeter of his yard, then why couldn't he step outside of his door all of a sudden? And that's one thing that was kind of like iffy to me. But hey, that's just me nitpicking. And like I said, this movie was not perfect. The movie by far was not perfect, but it was fun. And you've got Michael Douglas coming back as Hank Pym, who pretty much is still an asshole, and not a lot of people like him, but he's lovable in a way because he loves his family. He loves his daughter, which is Hope Pym, and he also loves his wife, which is I forget what her first name is, whatever, but yeah, he loves her and he misses her because she's stuck in the quantum realm. You've got a new villain coming in who's playing Ghost, who is Hannah John Carmen, and yeah, she's beautiful. I don't know what nationality she is, but the second she was on screen, I was like, damn, her eyes was just mesmerizing, and like I want to see more of her. I want to see more of her in more movies. I don't know what, but I want to see more of her. Then you've got Michelle Pfeiffer, who is kind of new to the team, but in the first one they were slick because in the first Ant-Man they did not actually show a face. They talked of her and they spoke her name, like Hope's mom, but they didn't actually show a face because they didn't have in mind who they wanted to be the actress playing Hope's mom or Hank Pym's wife. Until they got Michelle Pfeiffer. Then they started, broadcasting, showing, and all that stuff. But they were smart on that. They were smart because they planned ahead, but they didn't step over their bounds. And that was great. You've also got Michael Pena, who comes back as Luis. And everyone loves Luis when he starts rambling on about, the stories from this to this, and what this person said and what that person said, and it's like, they did it, and it was fun, it was great, and this whole scene was just like, it really hit. I loved it. I wish there was actually more of that in this movie, but we got a good dose of it. In fact, there was, at some point they were being tortured and they stuck him with truth serum. That was another fun thing when the guy was like, "I'm gonna stick you with this thing," and he was like, "Oh, you're gonna torture me? Cool, torture me." He was like, "No, I'm gonna. My boy here can extract information." He's like, "Oh, where you got truth serum?" And he's like, "No, it's not truth serum. It just helps you be suggestible and to tell us what you want. So like truth serum." Like, no, it's not true serum. Yeah, it sounds like true serum. Then you got T.I. in there. Then you got David, I don't even know what this... God damn, that last name, Daskma Malchan. Daskma Chan. That's the guy's last name. God damn it. It seems like they put two last names together to make that one. But, Kurt and Dave, which is played by T.I. And they're basically, they've got a security system. And there's like, who best to make your security than people that rob from you? And actually in the comics, Hank, or what's that, Paul Rudd's character, Scott Lang, he actually does create a security system. He goes to Miami and starts trying to be legit and starts a security service for himself, gets billboards and all that. So this is actually in the comics that he does this. So, but them having that, like I said, the scene with the whole truth serum, and then him telling back and forth, and they said, once you put the penny in that machine, man, you gotta let it just ride out. Because the guy was like, what are you rambling on about? Because the truth serum was making him tell the truth, but it was telling him about everything that's not even relevant from like back when he was a kid or whatever. So I don't know, or back when he first met Hank Pym. So that was a fun moment. You've got new people. You got Lawrence Fishburne that's in this, and he's actually, just being a spoiler, he turns out not to be the villain, but he's working with Ghost, because Ghost was wrong, because when she was, her father was wronged by Hank Pym and discredited, so then they tried to make the thing work on their own, and then the daughter was caught in it, and she was phased, so she can't touch anything, and Lawrence Fishburne worked with her growing up, but he taught her to control her power to be able to touch things, but then of course the government used her to be a killing machine or a weapon, which kind of messed her up, and then he's just trying to figure out a way, and she's actually degrading, so that's why she needs the laboratory of Hank Pym to make herself whole again, and Lawrence Fishburne is working with her, and it's a touching story. You got the new bad guy, Walter Goggins, which Walter Goggins, like, whenever you just see him, you know he's going to be a bad guy. That's just the roles he plays. He's a character actor, and his character actor is villain. I'm sorry, that's just what it is. Whenever you see him, if he's playing a good guy, best believe he's probably going to turn on the good guy he's helping. Because he just has villain or backstabber written all over his face. I'm sorry. He's probably a nice guy in real life. But as far as movies, whenever you see this dude, just know he's bad. You've got sort of like a comedy guy from Randall Park. He's playing Jim Wood, and he's basically the not the correctional, but the parole officer who watches over Scott Lang and makes sure he doesn't step out of lines. He has some funny moments in it as well, but he's more funnier in the show. I believe I can't remember the show that he's in, but from what I hear, he's really funny in that. Like I said, you've got David, whatever his last name, playing the sidekick of Luis, and you got T.I. Dave playing that. You've got the daughter, who is Abby Ryder. He's playing Abby Ryder Fortson. He's playing the daughter of Scott Lang, and she does a great job as well. She's, for a young girl, I definitely like seeing her. I like seeing her interaction, and she covers for her dad at some point when the FBI show up, and she's like, he's sick, he's in the bathroom, you don't want to see, there's throw up everywhere, and then gives him just enough time to get back in there and pretend like he's been there the whole time. So this movie, as far as action, I'm trying to think if it surpassed the first one. It was fun as well. I'm not going to say it was better, but I'm not saying it's worse. It was pretty much on par with the first one. In fact, the only thing that maybe made it better was the fact that more inclusion of the Wasp. The Wasp scenes, by far, were so much better than anything that was in the first movie. So, that being said, I guess I could give a little edge to the second movie because Hope or Evangeline Lilly killed it as the Wasp in this one. you know, Paul Rudd, he did a great job as well. But for some reason, it seemed like this was definitely more focused on it. It was more focused on the daughter and Hank Pym than, you know, Scott Lang. So we'll see. I don't know how they proceed, but yo, as far as that the post credit scene, wow, I don't know what's gonna happen. Like, I was expecting one, but goddamn, 3 of them. Woo! Did not see that coming. Especially seeing they just got the Wasps out. Everyone was like, yo, the Wasp was gonna go. That would be so tragic if, you know, she comes out and then all of a sudden she disappears in front of Hank Pym, you know, after, like, you know, the snap. And yeah, they went a whole nother level, and damn, I did not see that coming. No one saw that coming, and I gotta give bravo to you, DC, because I'm not DC. Damn, what the to Marvel, because you just keep catching people off guard with these things. Like, I didn't. Like, I don't know. I don't know what's next. I really don't. I had a theory. We had theories. We thought Hank Pym was gonna be working with Tony Stark to make a thing. Pym particles, time machine, go back in time, but now you don't have it, so I don't know. Like, granted, Scott Lang was containing quantum energy inside of a container before everyone kind of got dusted, but how is he getting out? I don't know. The ants can't bring him out. I don't think they know the technology, but can they really take him out? Do they know how to program and everything like that? You maybe Lawrence Fishburne, hoping that he's not dead. He can maybe work at program something with Tony Stark. So it's all up in the air. Don't know what's going to happen, but I'm going to give this movie a grade. I'm going to give this movie a B+, because this thing was fun. This thing had action. I liked the chemistry between, you know, between Scott Lang and Hope Pym. Like, the chemistry was there again, and like, you just kind of wanted them to kiss the whole time, and it just never happened. But that being said, you saw the love between Hank Pym and his wife when he brought her back, and now that she has powers, because she said it's evolution. Like, you know, she adapted, so she learned to control the quantum energy, and quantum energy theoretically is unstoppable. In fact, from what I'm hearing, Ant-Man could be the most powerful character in the MCU, because if you could control quantum energy, you can control pretty much anything. It's limitless. Quantum energy goes through not just energy, but time, space, everything. If you can get a hold of that and control that, yo, that Infinity Gauntlet, nothing. And I did not know that. And now you guys know that. So like I said, that's my review. My review is, if you guys should watch it. I give it a B+. You guys probably gonna like it as well. If you like the first one, you definitely like this one, and it has a great post-credit scene that leads up to Infinity War. So remember to subscribe. Check out my last movie review. Check out my playlist of all the movie reviews that I do. And remember, I'm Wes Grant. You've been watching Sub Urban Nerd, and you've just been nerdified. Catch you guys on the next review.